What up, peeps? Here we are on a Sunday, running about 5 minutes late, but you know how Michael and I do it. We don't let you down. We're still gonna be here. So just want to say I hope everybody's having a happy Sunday. We're happy to have big time guests with us today. Gym owner, IFBB Pro Nesha Ward. And we're just gonna have some fun here and just kind of get to know this lady. And as you guys know, we have a bunch of fun questions, we have a bunch of silly questions, but the bottom line is that we're gonna let her tell us all about what she do. So what's been going on, Mike?
Hey, I just want to say, how we do it. Say what's up to everybody. How you doing, everybody? Big Rob, everything's going good. Just want to shout out, man. Hey, I had another birthday, man. I got 2 kids. They back to back. So I got to shout out my son, because if I don't, man, he'll be mad because I shouted out my daughter last week.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Michael, man. Want to wish him a happy birthday. And everything else is going good, man, out my way. Good. But yeah, we do have a special guest today, man. And this lady, man, I'm gonna give her the James Brown introduction, because that's how she's known out here, man. Hey, they got the Godfather of Soul, but she's the she's the godmother of training in Northern California, man. She's also like Aretha. She's like Aretha Franklin. She's like the queen of fitness out here. So hey, with no further ado, we're gonna introduce Miss Nesha Ward. How you doing, Nesha?
Hi, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate you guys tremendously. Much respect to the introduction. I don't know about that, but I'll take it.
So, Nesha, I always do this with everybody. I know you started your fitness studio a while back, but it's called Genesis. And how did you come up with the name?
I've been having Genesis in my brain for a while, and on the bottom of all of my meal plans from the beginning has been Genesis Fitness and mentorship, because it was something that I had in my mind probably about 10 years ago. I wanted to do something with women and girls in mentorship, and I got the nonprofit number, had it in my mind, thought I would do something else. I would probably say 12 years ago. And I just got the nonprofit, thought I was going to do something with it, and started going in a whole different direction. And so when I started this gym this time, I went right back to Genesis. And it just, for me, is the beginning of all things new for me. When it initially came to me, I was headed in a new direction in my life. I was going through a divorce. Was starting a new life. I had just finished with my Juris Doctor from Lawrence Trevon. I was getting my pro card, just like a lot of things were going on. And I was like, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of my new life. So when I got ready to open up the studio, I went right back to Genesis.
Got you. So talking about the beginning, let's let everybody know so people can know who you are and how you got to where you are. Why don't you give us a little bit of your background?
The one thing about me that I like everybody to know is that I'm a mother first, before everything. I have 4 boys that I've given birth to, another additional son that's a bonus son to me that came from my marriage of 18 years. I always loved being an athlete. I ran track, played basketball all through high school, a little bit of college, started having babies really early. And at some point in my life, I was just doing the thing, taking kids to school, taking care of my husband, running programs. I ran all kind of nonprofits, football, basketball, like everything that you can imagine. Was the crossing guard, was in the PTA, was doing this and that. And people would say, oh my God, you got 5 boys. You're such a queen. And I would say, I'm the maid. That's all I was doing, was just like, I'm the maid. Oh, you be a queen in Africa, but I'm the maid here. And I was just doing the thing. And my kids were going to play sports. And my husband at the time was the coach. And I just felt like I was spinning. And I just decided, finally, I'm going back to school. I'm going to start training for a contest. I'm going to get my body back in shape. And it was just time for me to do my thing. And when I started, it was interesting because I had a very well known husband who was a coach at the time, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're his wife. Oh, you're his wife. Oh, you guys are so cute. Got a cute little family." But all of a sudden, when I started competing, it became, "Oh, you're her husband." And then I saw a shift, and it was, it's hard sometimes when we have to make that shift, and we didn't last that stage as the kids started getting older, and it was just time for me to do some things for myself. So I started competing in the midst of basketball games and AAU season and everything else that was going on, football games. I literally had a competition every time that there was a football game or a basketball game. So I would be there by myself. They would be at whatever, championship was going on, and I would be sitting, all day. Bodybuilding shows have changed. They used to be, prejudging in the night, prejudging in the morning, and then come back in the evening time. And we just didn't have the money to bring 5 kids to a bodybuilding show, run them back to Sacramento for a basketball game or Stockton or whatever. And it was just really my journey by myself. I spent a lot of time doing bodybuilding contests by myself. And I started off in figure. I probably should have started off in bikini. I was very small, very skinny. My whole life had been a very, very skinny, tiny girl, would have a baby, would go right back to that same size. And it was just my thing. And I just got more serious in it. I started loving it more. My first 4 contests, I tell people I'd love to hear the people who win everything in their first show. But my first show, I was DFL. And y'all know what DFL stands for.
Dead fucking last.
Yes.
That's right.
For the first 4 shows. I did not get a trophy until my 4th show. And I got a 5th place. And I love that we train athletes who win overall their first show, who, win, I think Will got his pro card in 3 shows or something like that. Tiani won it all. Mr. won it all. We've trained so many people who've won it all. I did not. I was last and last and last, and it just gave me more of a hunger to get better. And I couldn't pose, didn't have a coach who really knew what he was doing. He could train, but, didn't tell me all the nuances of, the makeup and the hair and how important posing was. Like, I saved posing for last. I make these girls do it early because I saved it for last every single time. I was like 3 weeks out and be like, I better get on this posing. And I look like it when I walked on stage. I look like, oh my God, I'm shaking in my heels. And, I just took me a long time to be able to present the package of what I was trying to do. And on top of that, I didn't have the money. I was a stay-at-home mom who was trying to pay for my tan and pay for my nails and pay for my hair and get the suit off of, eBay. And just, it took me a long time to get the package together to be a real competitive athlete. But when I did, I finally got it and I took off and I could not stop. Robert, when I tell you I couldn't stop, I kept going and I couldn't get the posing. So I just kept getting bigger. And I was started off at 120 pounds and ended somewhere around 170 because I just kept getting bigger because I couldn't get my back to open up the way I wanted it to. I couldn't get my shoulders to open up the way I wanted to. And so my pro card is from Women's Physique from, 120 pounds. And I got it in 2017, but I had such a miserable experience on that last one where I was just eating shrimp and asparagus for 7 meals a day that I was like, I'm done. I literally decided to put my clear heels up when I got my pro card and help other women so that their experiences would be better.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things, what you said, especially for beginners out there. Clearly, if they go to your page, your Instagram and all that, they see that you're a posing coach along with all of your other accolades that you've got done. But when you're consistent like that, that's the mark of true greatness, right? So as long as you stay consistent, we learn as we go along. Like they say, you learn more backstage than you do off stage. Yes. So each time you go backstage, you start to go, oh, they said they did this. Oh, they said, oh, let me try that. And so you kind of move forward. What I applaud you for is that there's so many people will dive into the sport, and once they don't get what they want, then they walk away.
Yes.
And then you have the ones who get it too fast, and then they realize they're really not that good, and then they die out. So,
Right.
you know what
They
I
don't,
mean? So,
and that's the one that's the hardest. That's the
yeah,
hardest because they don't get that. You're rushing to get a pro card. And do
yeah,
you realize when you get the pro card, 9 times out of 10, you probably never win again.
yeah.
You
That's
know,
that's been my thing that I told
yeah.
all of my clients. I go, once you turn pro, you won for the last time.
Yes.
The
Yes.
chance of you
It's
winning is
very,
very, it's very,
yes.
very
Yeah.
small.
You're back to the
And
beginning again.
so,
My son is at Cal
yeah,
Poly right now and he's a freshman and he's just like, oh, I'm struggling so bad with so many things. And I said, you're a freshman again. It
yeah,
starts all over
Starts all
again. And
over again.
yeah,
That's right.
that's
That's
just
right.
how
absolutely.
this cycle is. And what I found for me is I really like the people who I find in the boot camp who just come to train and come to work out. And I see them being consistent in their gains and their weight loss and their body structuring. And I say, you should think about competing. This is something
Right.
maybe you would be good at because now we have a relationship. There is
Yeah,
something that we've
Mhm.
built up, and it's so much easier than a girl walking in the door saying, hey, I want to compete. Because 9 times out of 10, they don't know me well. They don't know that I go from Bruce Banner to the Incredible Hulk when it's time to get
yeah,
ready for a show. They don't understand why, I'm like on them like this because they haven't seen the personality. And
sure.
Right.
every coach
Right.
is not your coach. And
That's
every
right.
situation is not perfect. And sometimes you just outgrow. So people come in and their attrition, things happen. You may not get along. Your personalities may not jive. There's so many other things, but my objective is to be the type of coach that I didn't have. I bounced
Yeah,
around a lot.
yeah,
I got something from every single coach, but at the same time, um, I probably didn't need to bounce around had I had a person that understood me and that I will
right.
run through a brick wall for you if you give me
And that's
what
the
I
So,
key.
need.
That is the
Yeah.
key right there. And that's the
Yeah.
key. And that's what I know you provide and what you do.
Yeah.
And going back to how you are able to get these women talking about boot camp. Let's talk about a little bit. Let's talk about what you're doing at Genesis and stuff like that. Because that's big because we
Yeah.
know you train
Yeah.
athletes to compete, but your big thing
Yeah.
is what you do with these women.
People ask me all the time, like, oh, how do you get all those people to compete? Most of them don't. Our business is probably 5% competition. The bulk of them is lifestyle clients. And uh, I probably have maybe 50 personal training clients. I have 200 people in the boot camp who just want to do boot camp, who want to get right, who want to strengthen their bodies and condition. I have morning classes and evening classes. I'm not like every other fitness gym out there. It's a women's only gym. We only have boot camp 4 days a week. It's a Monday and a Wednesday and a Tuesday and a Thursday. So you got to pick and fit in one of those things because I don't do 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. There's 2 times a day that there's the boot camp class, and that's it. It makes them have to force them into a place where they're in a group of women and they have to compete either with themselves or with the person next to them. I find it's better for me if I put people who are going to bounce off of each other's energy next to each other because energy moves, and if this lady keeps stopping, she stops eventually the whole room. That energy transfers. So if I can keep the up tempo in the room, that's not all my favorite music. I don't really dig all the Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj and the sexy red, but if you can get a music that keeps them in rhythm, that keeps them going, and right when they start getting tired, they know the words to tell me when to go, and they can slam the ball a little bit harder, and you can I can't write it down on the board and just let you do it. I have to get in your face. I have to let you know that I see you. I have to let you know that you can get lower, that you can go harder, that you can push a little bit more because as women, we have to do that. And I know it's a men's podcast, but the one thing about women is if you teach a woman, you teach a nation. You might teach a man, he may pass the information, he may not. He may give it to his son and his his nephew or his, you know, whatever. But if you give it to a woman, she is going to give it to her coworker and her sister and her mother and her everybody. You're going to teach everybody that she touches because she's going to pass it to somebody. And so it's my job to make them as strong as I can mentally and physically, so that when they break down, they don't break down all the way. Or when something happens and something goes wrong, like the car doesn't go right, or, you know, they lose their job or something happens, that they won't stop taking care of their fitness, that they miss it, that, you know, that it's important to them and they find value in themselves. Because we find value in everybody but ourselves as women. We will stop everything we're doing and run to 3 towns over because our kid forgot their lunch. But if we put on the wrong shoes, we'll be like, can't go today because this happened. You know, if we have a headache or something will stop us and get in our own way, we'll stop on ourselves. And right now, I really feel like this is selfish season. And the reason I say it's selfish season when my clients coin that term is because after October comes November. In November and December, it's all about other people. This is the strongest time to get fit right now for women, because all the money, all the time, all the energy, all the cooking, everything happens from November to January. So if you don't get fit right now in October, while we got this little black dress challenge going on, while we got these boot camp classes, while I got these meal plan sales and deals and all this stuff, I give you every single opportunity to get fit in this place where there's a bunch of women like you. And a lot of times the only people that understand are women like you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, and the truthful thing is that men have a tendency to stand in the huddle. Girls break the huddle. And you know what I mean? That's just sports in general, right? Only guys and teams that gets in huddles, everybody else kind of get in and break out, right? And so I myself, I have more women clients than I do men.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can respect what you're saying. They're your biggest billboards in general, because people want to know what you're doing, where you're doing it.
Yes.
And that's how I take advantage of that. And guys have a tendency to tell you what they want to do once they start to get in a little shape. Well, I think I should be doing this now. And I go, I don't have time for that. I want to teach.
Or they think they know everything.
They think they know everything
in the way.
Yeah. They even tell you, they say, I have to get fit before I can come see you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You don't need to come see me at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
and Nesha, we're not just for men.
That's true. That's true.
We do talk good for our women too. We tell them when the guys are being knuckleheads.
I was looking at some of your topics. You've had some really good topics.
Yeah. So, but no, I respect what you said. I can totally be on your team when it comes to saying women are the ones that's going to make things happen. It's just fact. It is just fact. And I don't know if it's that motherly side that they want to bring everybody in and go, come on, come do this. But it's also the challenge that you spoke on. I deal with it sometimes of just letting a female know that you can do this. You're a lot stronger than you think you are. And I know people tell you you're not, but those are the naysayers, and I'm the yes guy. Let's do this. And so people get motivated. And the only, what they really believe in, for as my point in sharing the two stories, is that when you make someone feel like they're the only client you got, they will bust their ass for you. It's just, you make them feel like this is our time, this is what we're gonna do, and you make it happen, and they're just there. But what's really nice for you is that you got a group of women that, like they said, if you'd send a group of women to a war, then the war will end real fast. They're gonna go and get shit done.
And not to interrupt either one of you guys. I know and see Nesha's clients all the time. And whenever she finally decides to go on vacation, which is hardly ever, they're in the gym taking gyms over.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
So, as groups. And I'm like, so I'm looking at, and they're posting, and I'm like, man, hey, they're like, hey, we just took over this gym. We just took over this. So
I love it.
And the thing is, they may not like how she does stuff or everything, but it's so funny how they take her personality on. And, when you see them, because I'm here, I've seen a lot of them grow. And the growth, man, is phenomenal.
It is.
I want to ask you another thing though. You still have that class with the more mature people like myself. And how did that start?
So Anitra and Erica both cornered me one day and said, "You need to have something for the mothers." You know, these women. I think with Anitra, she had people, nurses at the hospital that kept asking questions, and Erica had a mother that was older that was like, "I want to do a boot camp class too." And before I knew it, I just kind of put the feelers out there to see what I would get. It was filled day one. I just put up there and said, I'm going to do a 60+ class for women who are interested in fitness. It won't be like my regular class. There is no burpees, there is no jump squats, there is no heavy weights, right. But we're going to really get focused on getting fit, on the balance aspect. I look at these women, and the first day, which was a year ago, August 8th, they came in and a lot of them couldn't balance for 30 seconds on one foot. They couldn't, some of them have little trigger issues with their shoulders and issues with their spines and their backs. Some of these women have had strokes and aneurysms and suffered from breast cancer. They've been taking care of their husbands. They're retired. They are kicking butt. They don't miss. They do not miss. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. They're at that door. The class starts at 10. They're there at 9. They're walking my little area, getting their laps in. I give them homework. I got an 80-year-old who does everything herself. She drives, she puts the address in, she's in the Silver Fox, but she also has 2 bowling leagues, and she's in a Red Hat Society. I've got a lot of women that are ushers at their church. You know, they do all these other things to where they're already in shape. They just need to lift weights. And so what I'm teaching them is the importance of, yes, you can walk. Walking is excellent exercise, but we also need to do a little bit of weightlifting. Doesn't have to be anything super heavy, but keeping the body active all through. Because again, we take care of men. And who's going to stop when we get sick and say, okay, let me take care of her? Or, I got to stop today. I'm not feeling good. A lot of times we're in those hospitals. I can remember with my grandmother that the nurse said to her, "Where's all your children?" And she said that they weren't there. And the nurse said, "How come 8 children can be taken care of by one woman, but one woman can't, 8 children can't take care of one woman?" You know what I mean by that. And it's interesting that we have to stay fit no matter how old we get, because we don't know who's going to be around to take care of us. So I love that class. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And I love it too, because I became a senior citizen this year. So
I know. I know.
And, Robert won't let me forget it. He won't let me forget that I'm a Medicare person now, So, but we have a couple of people. I think Nene, and I don't know I can't pronounce the other name.
Lata Maradam.
They say you're getting better with your vacations, and they shouted out the Silver Foxes. So yeah.
Well, man, you're kind of a blessing, meaning that I'm just absorbing your story. So if I go deep, then I'm gonna try not to go deep. But I'm absorbing your story, and you sound like you've had some challenges. You've overcame challenges. You got 5 men that's gonna be in your life forever, no matter what.
Yeah.
And your whole soul is all about helping others. And you made a statement that we take care of our men. So you're kind of like a trophy to guys who are looking for people like yourself, right? And so it's really good. Your whole aura that I feel from you is that I got your back no matter what. You guys come on my team, no matter what, we're gonna win. And so it's clear that people are believing in you. You're able to create these little side things that get people to go, okay, now I'm special. It's not just I'm with everybody else. This is my group. This is my crew. It's kind of like me competing in the 60+ group. You know what I mean? That's my group. So you feel like they fit in, and there's no intimidation factors. Yeah. And so people are more apt to come to you and you're a Pied Piper. I can tell you're a Pied Piper. It only takes about 20 minutes to be in your company, and people are going to go, oh, yeah, I'll follow her. Wherever she goes, I go. And so
I love it.
Yeah.
But it's not without its challenges.
Oh yeah, yeah. If it was not any challenges, then it wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The challenge is what makes it interesting. And
Yeah.
so I applaud you once again. And then just by listening to your story, it sounds like you are the you do qualify for the announcement and the engagement that he gave you for us opening up the show, because there's a lot of people out there that chasing the dollar bill. They're not chasing the clientele.
Yeah.
Right. And so you can always tell in a short conversation, at least me, I've been doing this for 40 years now, being a trainer. And you can tell people who chase the dollar bill and the one who chase the people and gonna go, just believe in me. I'm gonna make you better. And then you're gonna believe in yourself and you move forward. So keep kicking ass, girlfriend. Keep kicking ass.
And when you say she's a Pied Piper, you know, I've seen her grow from, you know, each stage, and her stuff is word of mouth. Is by what people see other people do, how they look and everything. And then all of a sudden now you got, you know, Rob, how it is. I got this other person, Her classes sell out.
Yeah.
There's no room. Sometimes she makes room, you know, when she probably doesn't need to, because she's so caring. She is a blessing because, you know, we need to have more fitness stuff out here, and hopefully it continues to grow, because our area, you know, we need to have people like that. We need to have that camaraderie, man. You've brought all kind of different shapes, sizes, colors, everything together, man. And that's what I love so much about you, Nesha. You know, I've told you before, you know, the thing about you is you bring people together, you know, like you said, you may not be for everybody, but everybody pays attention to you because they know what you bring and know what you can bring. And that's a compliment to you. And what I said at the beginning, I mean it, because you are, you know, when they say Genesis, they know it's Nesha. You know what I'm saying? So I could commend you, keep doing what you're doing, and you always, every time I say, she ain't got nothing new, you come with something new, with a new challenge or something like that.
I got some new stuff.
I know you do. I know you do. So keep doing that, because like I said, you have all the gamuts. You have the young, you have the middle agers, and now you have the more mature group.
Yeah.
You got everybody. You know what I'm saying? So every now and then you might want to add an old guy or something in there. You know.
I'm trying, you know, it gets to be, I'm learning as I'm going, because I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So the challenges come, I would gain a lot of weight from all the people who would come with their issues, or I couldn't sleep at night because they're going through this, they got this going on. And, you know, a lot of times I had, you know, it's been a struggle for me to not put my own self in there and let things go, and realize that I have my own family at home. And sometimes I even had to say, that's not my scope. Today we're just counting reps. You can't come with that today. Today I need you to just like focus on fitness only. But because of the lifestyle I've been raised, my dad is a pastor. You know, my mom is a first lady. I've been raised in the church, and I feel like my parents raised me up when I was a baby, like Kuta Kinte in the sky, and, you know, asked that I be protected. I have empathy for a lot of people in this town who are going through a lot of things, especially here in this gym, because I know them. I only know violence from the people that I know, not from my family. My grandmother lived to be 108. My relatives have not had violence happen to them, so I have to have empathy for women in this gym who have had violent things happen to them. And so it reminds me of how blessed I am to be able to do this, and how much God continues to allow me to get up at 3:00 every morning. And yes, I'm tired, but I love what I do. And what you said, Mike, I mean, my dad is military. He did 22 years in the Navy. So I've lived everywhere. I've lived in several different states, different countries, different cities. And so there is Caucasians and Latinas and Asians and Black women in here all together, all working hard. This isn't one of those gyms where only this type of person goes here, only this type. You might be standing next to this person, what, a month ago, people were standing next to two ladies who just came here and just got started, and they went to a friend's house whose son had got killed, and they both ended up getting shot while at his house. You know, and those things, you know, we have widowers here. We have people who are going through cancer treatments, and CEOs and directors, and you know, people from the South Side, people from the North Side. They're all here. They all want to get fit, and they all want to be better. And it's on me to be the leader, because I can talk a whole bunch, but my job is to not condemn a dirty glass, but put a clean glass next to it to show how it looks. Because as you know, when there's women, there's going to be gossip, and there's going to be cliques, and there's going to be, she don't like me, she said this, I heard this, that's my baby, me and her got the same baby daddy, she keep her away from me, I don't want to do this class. You know, all this little end stuff that happens too, where there's, you know, some people just want to come here, don't want the selfie, want to do their workout and go home. And other people, they're looking for a connection somewhere, and there's trauma bonding, and there's people who just want to work out, and people who only want to do competitive because it looks good. And like, there's all these personalities of those 200 women that I have to manage. And some days I don't manage it well. And some days I close this office door and we're just working out, and then y'all going home.
Yeah, and that's part of it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we've all been through all of that too, you know, and that's the thing. You know, the thing is, you give back to your community, and that's awesome, you know, and that's what, you know, I do that all the time. That's what I've lived for, you know. I told Robert the reason why I'm here, you know, is because I want to spread my blessing to others. You know, we've been here to mentor, you know, between me and Robert, we add our two ages together, man, we're over 120 years old. So,
right.
So
you guys look amazing.
You know, I appreciate it. But look, Robert looks like younger than me, though.
That's because you want to do the whole.
I tell you, you got to keep it trim.
No, I know. Hey,
I like
a 60-year-old.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm 63, so I've been around for a minute. But have you ever thought about life coaching, Nesha? I'm a life coach. I'm a life coach. And, I'm just saying in general with the people that you're dealing with, because the things that I've learned, I've got my license a long time ago, but I still practice it. I have clients right now that I deal with, but it has helped me deal with all of the different diversities and issues come across it. And you're exactly right. We hear stuff that they don't share with other people, and we're constantly trying to help them get past it without actually telling them what to do. You know what I mean? And that's where the whole life coaching come into play, is that I will listen and I'll let them say it again, and then I'll just let them keep repeating and we see how deep this starts, because nothing ever starts from right now. It's a journey from way back. And so once they figure out where it come from, I always say you can choose to live that past, or you can change it and move forward. If not, we become babysitters. They come to us just for comfort and to hold them and rock them back and forth until they believe in themselves, right? And so that's how I utilize my skills. So if you ever thought about it, maybe go and try to get your license as a life coach. It will definitely assist you in not having to take that shit home. And me being an ex-cop too, so I have to learn how to turn it off, leaving the jails and leaving the car. You know what I mean? So all those things kind of assisted me and helped me get better at that. But you got a lot on your plate. You seem to eat the right meals at the right time, and you know when to close that door and go, I'm done.
I'm learning.
Yeah. So good for you. Good for you. I hear your story. So keep doing your thing.
Thank you.
You might want to tell everybody where you're at, and so that the people who are listening can come find you.
Okay, I am Genesis Fitness and Wellness in Stockton, California, 4533 Quail Lakes. On the internet, on Instagram, I am Genesis Fitness Nesha. Let's see, I have a webpage, www.genesisfitnessandwellness.com. And my email is genesisfitnessnesha@gmail.com.
There you go. Awesome. So you people out there who are listening to this, even if you're traveling that way, you might want to just go visit and see what the facility is all about for sure.
Yeah. Stop in, take a peek, see us.
And get a chance to meet Nesha. And, pick up some of that. Huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool. So, Mike, you got anything else?
I just want to another one of Nesha's, I guess Nesha's people, Nicole Vega said Nesha pushes her clients to become the best version of themselves, no excuses. So just want to shout out again, Tiani. I gotta shout out Tiani because you know how she is if you don't shout her out. So Tiani, I see you. Miss Huggins, I see you.
So, she's something else. She's something different. She's built different.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Great physique. She has a great physique also.
I appreciate you tremendously. We got a lot of things going on here at the gym. So they're welcome to stop in and visit the website. And I appreciate you for having me and giving me this platform. It's an honor. Mike, I know where you come from. Robert, I was looking you up. I know where you come from. And you don't have to do this, but I'm glad the opportunity is there for people to learn more and continue to grow.
Absolutely. Well, we was all placed here for what we're doing right now. That's why the man put us here. Everybody got a why, everybody got a purpose. Yes. And we have figured that out. So now let's continue to share with everybody else. And I wish you well. And I know you're going to continue to grow. I can just tell with your spirit that things are going to be good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm glad that Mike brought you on. It's nice talking to someone that that really know what's up and got it going on and can kind of move forward with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Yeah. So other than that, other than that, people, I'm glad you guys got a chance to see and hear from our gym owner here, Nesha. So I hope you got something out of it, even if it's not about training, but something just of the mental side of things. And just try to make sure that what you do it because you want to and not because you're like forced to do it, and just kind of enjoy your life and find someone that's positive in your world that's going to allow you to like live this life that Nesha is living right now, and that is supporting others and giving love back. And we all know that the man is watching us upstairs. He'll take care of us when we take care of his peeps. So we're going to say peace out to everybody. And Nesha, it was nice having you on board. Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.